in. So hi, welcome. So thank you for joining me for my second YouTube live. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna do like a quick little introductory statement, I guess, about myself for those of you who are new to my channel, and then I can open it up for questions. Maybe my statements will trigger some questions. Just let me know. Hi, Priscilla. Okay. So first of all, my name is Roxana, for those who don't know, and I'm a current first-year medical student at UAG. In a couple of days, on the 11th, I'm going to start my second semester at UAG. I am from California, and I plan on getting a U.S. medical license and practice in the U.S. As a physician later down the road. And I am also a non-traditional student, which means that I didn't go directly from my undergrad to medical school. In fact, I went through the application cycle 2 times, and then that's when I considered applying to either Caribbean or UAG, but then I went the UAG route. Okay. So I know that some of you are starting school soon, or maybe are here to know a little bit about what UAG is about. So just let me know. These sessions are mainly for you who come on the live and ask questions. If not, I'll just talk about my experience thus far or whatever, So hi Ruben. Do y'all have any questions? Or any topics that you want me to talk about? Whatever y'all want. Okay, well, as y'all brainstorm, supplemental resources for studying. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the main resources that I've been using is YouTube, because there's a lot of free YouTube videos out there, especially when you go in for your first semester. What I would do is, let's say we're learning about the Krebs cycle. I just Google Krebs cycle, or not Google, YouTube, YouTube search Krebs cycle, and look at the videos that come out. And usually they are very helpful. And then I just look up key terms or any terms that I don't understand from the lectures. And then that will help me find a YouTube video related to it. Usually it's fairly easy to find. On YouTube, I highly recommend AK Lectures because he's very quick and direct to the point, what you need to learn. I also like Ninja Nerd. However, I didn't really start listening to him until maybe the end of my first block / more on my second block within my first semester, because his lectures are really long, and I really like saving my time. So I usually listen to my videos 2 times speed or more. I actually downloaded an extension on Edge and on Chrome for speed up the videos, just because I don't know if y'all have seen other YouTubers say in medical school you have to listen to videos really quick. So I was like, all right, let me try to do it, but I recommend to push yourself to gradually be able to listen to it fast, but as long as you understand. But anyways, AK Lectures, Ninja Nerd, and Assad Hassunagan. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but his last name is Hassunagan or something like that. His videos are really good as well for supplemental. The reason why I recommend YouTube in the beginning, and of course there's Khan Academy that does certain MCAT related, because it's going to be very basic information in the beginning, kind of things that you've already seen through the MCAT and through undergrad. So yeah, watch that. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, and then I did use Boards and Beyond and USMLE Rx later on, or I tried to do it earlier on, right? But the thing is that Boards and Beyond and USMLE Rx, they don't really like do like the beginning stuff, you know, because they for Boards and Beyond, they focus on what's going to be on the step test. And I don't know if y'all have heard of the first aid book, but basically the first aid book, they like they go hand in hand with Boards and Beyond. Like they say, okay, well, if the first aid book is recommending that you learn about the Krebs cycle, here's a video about the Krebs cycle, stuff like that. But if it's not on the first aid, then it's not on Boards and Beyond. And a lot of things that you learn in the first semester, first block of your like medical school is not in first aid or in Boards and Beyond. Only a couple of things, you know? So, so yeah, I would recommend to just like focus on YouTube. Check out Boards and Beyond to see based off of the first aid book, and also USMLE Rx. They have something called USMLE Rx, and I think you could get like a 5-day free like trial for that one. And people like I recommend that one because it's very much for reading. Like the bricks are articles and they do go into details of like the older stuff. So I feel like if you want to find an external resource in the first semester or the first block, check out bricks and only bricks because it's like articles reading. Their videos that USMLE has, RX has is more for step, and it's going to be the same thing with Boards and Beyond, that they don't really have it. Tell me if that makes sense. Like if that doesn't make sense, just like let me know. You said RX, have you tried Pathoma? So no, I haven't tried Pathoma. I don't know why I haven't had the need yet. I think Pathoma is like something for next either next block or next year. I don't think I have like found the need for Pathoma. I think Pathoma was like it was like it's a book that's basically an outline, kind of like first aid book. But yeah, I'll look into it. I haven't had the need to use it, and I remember I looked into it because I heard about it too when I first got into medical school. I was like, I need to know these things, but no, I haven't had the need. So I think I looked into it and I didn't need it for my first semester at all. What do you do differently in terms of studying? Yeah. Okay, wait. Before I answer that, another YouTube recommendation is Osmosis. So Osmosis has some free YouTube videos, but then they'll try to tell you like they're a service like Boards and Beyond and like RX. I like their videos for the most part because they're very like easy to follow. They're very pretty, they're very cartoony and like simple to understand. They write it all out. So yes, I do recommend Osmosis videos. However, I did not go the route of getting Osmosis for myself, like the service and paying for it, because I saw that the Boards and Beyond videos were a lot more detailed and like more like they had more information, I guess. And I felt like I rather have more than less. And then yeah, I 100%, like 110%. If you're a video person, YouTube and Boards and Beyond. I know that RX has videos, but they're okay in my opinion. Boards and Beyond and YouTube, like Osmosis. Check out Osmosis though, people like it. There's another one that you can check out called Lectorio. I'm sure y'all seen ads about it. yeah, they have some free YouTube videos as well, tutorials, so you can see how they teach. I personally I don't know. I heard more about Boards and Beyond from like US medical students, so I'm kind of going their route. Okay. And then Ruben, in terms of your question about how do what I do differently in terms of studying. So in the beginning of my first semester, my first block, I tried to do outlines because the professors at UAG, they give you study objectives. And that means like per class, these are the things you should know. So I thought it was a great idea to just do a outline about it and then just like answer those questions, study based off that, and then study with understanding like what is happening through the class. But in the beginning of my first block, I basically only got like 80s, and I think I got like I think I got 270s or 170 in terms of my exam scores, and it's out of 100. And like I wasn't okay with that, you know. I was like, man, how can I increase? So what I've noticed is that if you go off of the slides that they give you, um like you're gonna do significantly better. I'm not saying, so here's the thing though, when you study based off the slides, you can't just memorize what it says and expect to know it. Does that make sense? Because presentations or slides are basically like an outline for the professor. Some professors go very detailed in their slides, and maybe only their slides is all you need. You will just study from it. For example, for histology, I think that if you just study from her slides, you'll be fine, you know, but like, I don't know. I still don't do it because I'm scared to like miss out on something. So what I do now is I go into the class. I see the class. Okay, so I go to class and then I take notes on a tablet. Now I do a tablet. I don't do outlines anymore. So I have a tablet, and then I write notes on the PDF, and then after that, the day of, I go through the entire slide and see if I understand it. So I go bullet point by bullet point and see if I understand the words that it says. And if I don't understand the main idea of the whole slide, like I just need to understand everything on that slide. Like even if it's like a picture, I'm like, well, why did she put that picture? Why did he put that picture? Just try to understand everything there. And then that usually takes me like the day. And then I go the next day, I preview the material with a YouTube video, Boards and Beyond, go to class, take notes on the PDF slide. And then for my third one, I review, go thoroughly by either going to see the YouTube video I saw again, the Boards and Beyond, or read the article of RX again. Those are the three things I do to try to understand. And then if none of those go, then I go to the book. And then because that's just the way I do. And then I try to fill it in within the PDF that I made in the morning. So I just try to keep it concise there. It could get a little messy sometimes, but it's worked out for me. And that's honestly how I made that. Like I got my first A in medical school ever. Like I think it was like a 91 without a curve, and then like with a curve it like boosted me like to 98 or something like that, how I have it on my description for that video. And then for this last one, I got an A. I'm trying to remember. I got a 91, I think, with the curve. I don't remember, but I got an A without the curve and then like slightly above, slightly more with the curve, but it wasn't as like great as the one for the video. And that's just like on me because I procrastinated. But yeah, so that's what I do more now. When I say about studying, sorry, it just means that after I do that review on my third and fourth pass, I go to the slides that I made. On my third pass, I read through the bullet points and my notes and try to see if I still understand it. And if I don't understand it, then I try to like look up more material that will help me understand my knowledge gaps. And then on my fourth pass, I only read the bullet points that the professors write. And by then, I should understand what they're trying to say, you know? And then that's usually it. I'm done with like my fourth pass for all of my classes, and then I take the test. So that's what I do. And it's been working out great. And I'm going to do that for my second semester. And I do practice questions. I do that in my second and my third pass as I'm looking at the YouTube videos, because Boards and Beyond gives you questions, and then at the end of the video, and then RX gives you questions at the end of the article. Okay, sorry, that was like a lot, but I just feel like it's important. Okay. I think there's a book plus subscription service to like videos or something like that. Yes, Priscilla says that there is a subscription service, I think for osmosis, if that's what you're talking about. If it's about Pathoma, I'm not sure. I can look into it. What specific channel in YouTube? Yes, so AK Lectures, Ninja Nerd, Asan Hasadagan, if somebody can look that up. Or I can put it in the description later. And hi, Hillary, yes. Osmosis and AK Lectures. Oh yeah, and Osmosis. But don't only go there. Like also just, you know, browse, see what is easier for you to understand. Like Khan Academy has like a medicine channel. And honestly, for my embryology course, my first block, I found myself looking at weird like videos, like kind of like the videos that are a person writing down. It's not even the person's face, it's just a hand, and it's just like not even like a landscape. It was like portrait mode, and it was like all dark, and I was just like, whatever, like this lady is a genius, like let me just listen to it, you know? So feel free to just like explore YouTube, just look at those keywords. Okay. Do I recommend putting off the Harvard online class for the first semester to help adjust the online learning format, or do you suggest to go for it? Oh, Priscilla, look at you. Did they send already the Harvard thing to y'all? As I wait for that response, so UAG, I was supposed to make a video, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's just that this is my winter break, and I like literally have been enjoying my time with my family, and I like had a list. I was like, I'm gonna do this, that, and I just didn't. Oh, okay. So just so y'all know, Harvard School of Medicine and the University of Guadalajara, Universidad Autónoma de Guadalajara, UAG, they have like a connection, I guess. Like they basically are in terms, they made like a contract or something, and now UAG students in the international program, they can take free online courses from Harvard Medical School. However, it's not like their medical school, like what their medical students are taking. It's Harvard created a like a separate online course, and I believe it's 5 courses that we can take. And yeah, and if you go, it's called HMX. So you can look that up and see what they offer. And I think like each course is like $800 or something like that. But for our UAG international medical students, we can take it for free, which is amazing. And so basically, if you're going to begin in January, I believe the email will be sent out on the 11th because I'm waiting for the email as well. So for my first block, I took HMX course genetics. And then for my second block, I took HMX course, what's it called? Physiology. And those are the ones I recommend. And I was going to make a video about that, but I recommend those. And the reason why is because in your first block, you will learn everything that is like on the HMX course in school. So I think they go very hand in hand and it's not that stressful. And same goes for physiology. So I honestly recommend you to take it if you can, because it's going to be something that you can put in your application, in your residency application, when you try to match into a program. It's going to be one of those like extracurricular or more on the certificate side, because at the end of the course, you take a final, and I believe it's like an 8-week course. I'm not that sure. So it's basically they open the classes like every Monday, and you can just like follow and do it on your own time whenever you can. It's a series of videos and questions. So if it's about genetics, it's videos, questions, and then you're supposed to, if you get like a, don't quote me on the percentage because I'm not that sure, but I think it was like 60 on the final or above, or 70, I don't remember, but you either get a certificate of completion or a certificate of achievement. And so if you did all the homework and you took the test and I think it's above a certain percentage, but it's just like completing the program, you get a certificate of completion. And then if you did like really like well, then you get a certificate of achievement. And so for those, like, I think regardless of which one you get, I think you can put that on your resume. And I think that's amazing. And I think it's not that difficult to have, as long as you don't leave it to the end. Just do it as you go along. What my class did is we created like a group chat. I don't know if y'all have like WhatsApp, but WhatsApp, we created like a group chat specifically for the genetics people, because there's some other people who are taking like the biochemistry, or like there's other courses that they provide. But if you take the genetics one, you just make a group, and then like if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask within each other. Create like a accountability partner or buddy or something like that, and I think it's fine. Do you recommend Firecracker to do practice questions? I haven't used Firecracker, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I do recommend practice questions. That what's worked for me is during the time that you're understanding the material. Don't leave it till the end. That is like something that has worked for me, because let me tell you, because in my first block, I was doing okay, like, like with my 80s and stuff. I was like, let me switch it up. Everybody in my class keeps saying that they do so many practice questions, and like, that they like at the end of the exam, some students are always like, oh, well, they were kind of similar like the practice questions on whatever book. And I was like, man, maybe I'm missing out on doing it. So what I did for my first test of my second block, it was about it was a cardiology exam, and I want to say I spent like a whole day on doing practice questions on the weekend of the exam. And I was like learning, how like the proper way of doing practice questions is do the question without like seeing the answer first, like actually attempt it and then read into the question and see if you understand it. The question answer, if you get it right, and if you get it wrong, just read the answer question explanation. And then if you still don't get it, go to where you need to go to find it and understand it. I did that And that did not work out for me. Like, I think I got like a 70 something. It was like the only 70 I got this block. And it was it was lower than the 70 from my first block. And I was like, and I understood the concepts for cardiology. So I was like, what is going on? So that's when I decided to do the whole pass system, like go harder on my Excel sheet. And then now I'm doing better. So yes, if you're going to do practice questions, I would say don't do it till the end, like right before the exam or something like that. Do it as you go along because it helps you understand. And it is nice to see like preview what questions look like and stuff like that, because the questions that the professors write for the exams they kind of try to make it like USMLE, like kind of like STEP. So they give you a scenario of like a patient scenario or something like that, and they somehow relate it back to what you're learning, you know. Out of the study, so hi Erin, out of the study resources that require subscriptions, what do you recommend the most? Out of the study sources. Oh, okay. Well, I would not, like, if I only had to choose one, I would just keep Boards and Beyond, because I'm 100% a video person. But if you are a reader, like you just like to read it more or whatever, I would recommend USMLE Rx Bricks. Yeah. I'm like trying to think if that's good. Yeah, I do. I'm very fortunate to have both, but yeah, I do recommend those. Hi, Levit. Would you recommend getting the first aid? Oh, yes. Okay. Here. Oh, let me show you. So Levitt, sorry, is talking about the first aid book. I don't know if y'all know about this book, but sorry about the noise. I'm pulling it out. So this is the first aid USMLE Step 1 book. So what this is basically a lot of like people who this is like an outline. Consider this book an outline for what you need to know for STEP. So what I mean by that is this book will not teach you things. It'll just tell you things, and it'll come up with mnemonics. So when you're going through the class, this is something that you look through. Sorry, I didn't mention it, I guess, when you guys asked me about my study thing. And the reason why is because I do use this, but I use it again, not to study, just to see like what is there. And I do I do use it for understanding things. They say it in a different way, I guess, right? But anyways, I recommend this book because I think that it's important to just know what is going on. So let me show you something, for example, so y'all can like have an idea what I'm talking about. So I like it because it's very concise. So for example, like in block 1. So do you see like this is like the Krebs cycle, this is the mitochondria. Do you see how it's like a small paragraph and then a nice concise picture of what you need to know? And so I like to go through this book as I'm going through my second pass. So usually at the end of the lecture, of every lecture, I go to this book to see what if it's even in here. And this helps me because like the medical school like will teach you things that are not here because it's teaching you like above and beyond, and so there are times where you won't be able to use this, but yeah, like I like this, and what I did to is I added like a ring because it's very easy to see, like for me to use it, and then I put these dividers, like
basic dividers are just like a paper into these pages, because I feel like it makes me want to use it more, especially because like my study space is somewhat limited, and I wanted to just make myself familiar with this book. And I do like it because it gives you a lot of like shortcuts, I guess, if you want to say, like mnemonics, and literally like all the graphs you need to know, so I like to know what is there, because then I feel more confident about like what I'm learning in school. Like, am I feeling prepared for step as I'm going along? So yeah, I recommend it. And if you get the RX like 360 bundle, which is like everything with the flashcards, videos, bricks, you will, and like the practice questions that are step related. They also give you like a free, or like you can, like a free online version of this book, so you can search it online as well. So yeah, I do recommend getting it. But I say wait, if you're starting like in January, wait off, hold on to getting it until like someone from, someone from like another semester should go and help y'all get some resources. Like someone previously helped my class, and I don't know if that's happened to y'all yet, but it should soon. I'll ask my class. I don't know how that works, but somebody from some other semester came into the chat of my semester and was like, hey, I have all these free resources. And I think maybe that is included, but I don't remember, because I bought this before, because I was like, let me start studying now. Like, I was that person. But I noticed that I couldn't, because it's not like teaching you, it's just like telling you. Okay. Sorry, I missed it, but what practice questions are you referring to? Book questions, USMLE Rx. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. It's just like there's so many practice questions, and then within the books, the histology book, I think, has practice questions of their own. And I think at least for my class, there was a lot of students who like found resources, and I think they found it on that OneDrive that I'm talking about, that some other class student will come and share it with you all. But we'll see. And then the practice questions that I do it on Boards and Beyond. Every video, at the end of every video, they have 3 to 5 questions. And then I also do, if I'm reading the article, I do the practice questions at the end of the article. Those are the ones that I do. But main priority has always been the slides. AMSA board members shared discount code. Yes, that kind of happened. Oh yeah, I'm not on AMSA, so I don't know. AMSA and ACP IMG. ACP is American College of Physicians. Internal Medicine Interest Group it's the other like or student organization at UAG. And then AMSA, I don't know what they stand for, but it's like for students. I think they get a lot of resources too. I kind of want to get into that, but I haven't done it. So get into both, honestly. Starting next week, I'm curious if it took a while to balance school and life. Well, congrats on starting next week. Congrats to everyone who's starting next week. I know it must be difficult to like go into this new world. If it took a while to balance school and life, here's the thing. For me, I kind of like told my family and like my close friends, I guess, like I was like, hey, I'm gonna start school and I heard it's intense and I'm not gonna be that available. So just like text me and I'll get back to you when I can. And please don't take it personally if I don't reply right away. Do know that I'm here though, you know? And then that's like as far as like I went. And so I don't know, I guess it was like I dropped working out, unfortunately. I know in the beginning of my videos for the beginning, I worked out and I stopped. And that's because I felt like I couldn't balance both. I don't know. The reason why I'm like, I don't know, like a quick answer to that is because I didn't feel confident, I guess, in like studying less and having more life related activities, because it is possible, but I didn't feel like confident in doing so because I didn't feel like good with my grades, you know? Like it's like don't feel confident until now. That's so bad. Until I got my A, that's when I was like, okay, now that I know how to study, I can focus on organizing my time more, and I can focus on like getting back to work out. But whereas in the beginning of school, I was like, I don't care, I'm dropping everything. And like, I know it's not like healthy or whatever. I did have my breaks, you know, like I still like ate dinner and lunch and breakfast, like watching something, you know, like on Netflix or whatever. And I did have like my free time ish, like talking to my family here and there, and like friends and stuff like that. But I didn't feel comfortable with adding more things into my schedule until I did well, like I like well on my exams, you know, because that's like the goal and that's like my main priority. So it depends on how how you want to do it. But I mean, I have some friends of mine who like they go to the gym, or not, well, they work out and stuff like that, still. And yeah, I mean, if they like, they can do it, you know, it is possible. It's just about like organizing yourself. By the way, so I don't know if that helped. Sorry, Frank, you. But my answer, the short answer to that is it took me a semester to feel confident about life and school balance. By the way, the Med School Survival Kit book has helped me a ton. Yes, you read it? Oh, I'm so glad. I read that too, like before going into school. For those who don't know, like that book is very handy, because like it kind of like tells you everything that's going to happen, like in step 1, step 2, how to study, like stuff like that. What do you recommend best in general to get good grades? I recommend to understand, because here's the thing, there's so much information. Like, check this book out. Like, this is a lot of information. My friend and I, we were trying to be productive this winter with this winter break, and we were like, let's go over the entire semester worth of material and watch all of the Boards and Beyond videos and take all the practice questions, right? It took us 2 hours to figure out everything that we learned from this book. And that's just to figure out how much we learn, you know? Like, it's a lot of information. And if you go into it just trying to get like the good grade and not understanding it, then like you're not doing yourself any justice, because you're going to have to understand it for the test. And a lot of the exam questions, like, I don't know, for me, it's helped me to know that I understand the material, because they're not going to do like, it's not like very like simple, I guess, you know, like they try to confuse you, but it's not really confusing. It's just like understanding. If you understand it, it's not confusing. Does that make sense? Sorry. Hope that makes sense. To get good grades, understand it, understand the PDFs that they give you, and then read through the entire PDF, all of the classes before the exam, for sure, minimum. I read through it twice for my 3rd and 4th pass before my exam, and it's helped me out a lot. So yeah, do that. Sorry, personal question, but do you live at home with your parents? And if you do, how do you maintain a good study schedule and focus with them at home? Okay, so my parents are Peruvian and they are so freaking loud, salsa all the time, bumping that cumbia. LOL. So for those who don't know, I'm Peruvian as well. So I totally understand that. And no, I don't live at home. Um, so I can't quite understand you there, but I get you with the Peruvian stuff. Like for my parents, I know that my parents and I are very close, and we like to talk for hours, like about anything. And so what I just recommend is like setting boundaries. I know it must be very hard, and it was for me to even do that as well. Um, but it's necessary, just have like a heart to heart with your parents one day and be like, hey, you know what, like mom, dad, like brother, sister, like I'm going to be in school and it's going to be very intense, and there are going to be times where I am going to be very stressed out. And I don't know how you are, Priscilla, but for me, I'm just like, don't tell me, just give me like a hug, like, or just be like, it's okay, you're going to do great. And then, like tell them beforehand that when you're fine, and then just be like, hey, is it okay? Like if I put on my door, like I'm studying, or, I don't know if you've seen like those pictures on like Reddit or something like that. They have like a page and it says like, you can come in, I'm studying, or like, I'm studying, like, please don't disturb, or like, knock before you enter, or like I'm in a meeting or something like that. Create like, or like I'm in class, because you don't want your mom to walk in class and let's say you're like speaking or something, and then to so make sure there's like some sort of like understanding, especially for exams, because exams will be online, and any like noise like big will be flagged for you, because it's a program, and then the program director will have to look through your video and see if you like cheated or not. So yeah, just make sure like communicate with them is like what I recommend. And then earplugs for sure. And then just be like, hey, can y'all like lower it a little? I don't know. Hope that helps. I appreciate the insight. I'm glad it's helping, Frank. Okay, Adrienne, thank you. So, do you recommend to read the PowerPoints or the books? Okay, I recommend to read the PowerPoints, no matter if you like to read the book or to watch the videos. The book, I recommend to go to the book if you don't understand something from the PowerPoint and you cannot find it on either a quick YouTube search, Boards and Beyond, or if you're using RX. If you can't do that, go to the book. That's what I do. And the reason why I do it like that is because I spend so much time reading. When I read something, I like read it again and again, because either I'm like not physically, like I'm not mentally there, and I just like either sidetrack, or I like read it and then I just like start like falling asleep slowly and slowly, and it just drains me, So I try to avoid uh reading the book, because I feel like it's faster with a video or something like that. But when I have to read the book, like I have to read the book, like I just like kind of like read it fast, try to see what I need to find. The professors though will recommend you to read the book. Do know that. But the reason why I learned it, I like, I'm hesitant, I guess, is because for the book, I remember for my first assignment, y'all are gonna learn about like for histology, I think it was like like the different microscopes or something like that, and like different types of different ways to see like cells, And I remember I read all of it, the whole chapter, and then I go to class And it was like half of the information that was given in class. The other half was from like some other book. And I was so annoyed. I was like, man, I like spent how long reading that chapter? And I like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like, um, as long as you're efficient, and I felt like reading the book was not efficient for me, and I just stopped. But I have a friend, like a close friend, who reads the book and he loves it, and I'm just like, and he like, and it's just like, and he understands it for the quizzes, because there are quizzes in the beginning. Mostly, I've mostly had quizzes in the block semester 1, block 1. So be expected to know things before class. I'm sure they'll let you know that there will be a quiz, or like that there will be quizzes, but it's usually like 5 minutes before class in the student portal. And so yeah, like, um, however you can study. Um, that's a great idea. Thank you. You were so tight knit, and they're a little too overprotective. You're telling me, but the sign and heart to heart are a great idea. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, like don't fight them, because I feel like with parents, like they love you, like they want to do the best for you, but so that's why you have to get to their level of like, hey, this is my this is my opportunity to shine. Like, let's not let's do a team effort here, and they'll do it. Do you know if we can use noise canceling headphones during exams or no? No. So for the exams, you can't put anything in your ears, because I remember I wanted to put earplugs. So no headphones, no earplugs. It's just going to be you and your laptop only, no tablets for the test. It could be laptop, either a PC or Mac, but not a tablet, because the program doesn't work on a tablet. It's not the school that's like telling you. It's like it's called Exam Soft, the program that you will be using, and you can't take it with a tablet. And they will like, the way that it works is that program, you will, before the test, let's say you have your test on Monday, the professors will either email you, or you'll like figure it out on your own by just constantly checking the program, that the exam is available for download. So once the exam is available for download, you download it, and then the day of the exam for block 1, the director, he usually likes to have a Microsoft Teams meeting, maybe like 10 minutes before the exam, and that is to tell you the password, and like a motivational speech or whatever. But you need a password to take the exam. So once you have the exam password, you close Teams, and then you write it in, and then on the dot, as soon as it's like, let's say 10 a.m. if your exam is at that time, you put the password, press enter, and then the next thing, the program will take a picture of you, and you just agree to their terms, and then you begin the exam right away. So yeah, and then the program, if you have like another monitor connected to your laptop, like it disconnects it. It disconnects you from Wi-Fi, and it disconnects. That's it. But I do connect my my mouse to my laptop, and it's fine. And there will no paper allowed to write, no writing, no pencil paper. It's all there. So it's not great, like a big deal in the beginning of block 1, but block 2, once you get to more like equations, and like for me, like the hard section, like I thought I needed to like draw. But no, like they do on the program, they do give you like a notes pad within the program of the test, so you can like write your little notes. So I like talk to myself during the exam, and I'm just like, this means this, therefore this means this. Okay, and then they give you also a calculator, and then you calculate it if needed. But in block 1, I don't think you need it. But I did use the notes, and then you can also highlight within the exam. It's pretty good, the program, but It's just unfortunate you can't draw or anything like that. Okay. Is AMSA and AMSA UNG different organization? I think AMSA is like a US thing. Like it's a big organization for like all students. I think like any student can join. And then AMSA UAG is the one that it's like a chapter within AMSA at UAG. I'm not part of AMSA, but I do want to join actually, just to see what they have because I heard that it was very like useful for students. I just like forgot, if I'm being honest. Like I did want to, but I just forgot. And not only that, I was scared to join a lot of things and do extra things because it was my first time in medical school and I didn't want to like bombard myself. But I am part of um, I'm part of ACP IMG, which is the internal medicine interest group at Guadalajara, and I'm gonna be the second semester representative. Like I got a position. And I got a position. The reason why I felt comfortable with the position is because I was like, all right, like I'm doing like good on my exams. I think I have a good plan. I just need to organize myself and get extracurriculars in. And I do want to go into internal medicine, so I'm joining. And yeah, like right now, I don't think we have anything out there for y'all. They do have an Instagram page where y'all can see announcements. There will be like an informational meeting, 2 informational meetings in like the months to come, so that y'all can like join and be part of it. So it's gonna be great. How can we join ACP? Yeah, so like definitely join. What's it called? Attend the informational meeting. They will basically tell you how, but it's going to be basically on their website. Thank you. Thank you. It was weird because like there was something like we had to run and I had to like promote myself, and I'm just not the best at promoting myself. So it was funny because like my friend who knows that I do YouTube, she was like, make a video to promote yourself. So I made a video and I just like sent it to my class, and I was like, hey y'all, like please vote for me. It was very cool and kind of weird, but I got it, so I was really happy about it. It was cool. Okay, do they give group assignments? If so, is it easy to work in group considering that it's online? That's a good question. They do give group assignments. So the way that it works is for class, you go into a Microsoft Teams class meeting for all of the classes. So like if it's genetics, like all of the students go. But then you also will be already like divided into a different group, and it's your clinical skills development group, CSD. So that that is like a small class of like 40 students with its own professor. So you will have more classes of like regular lecture, but maybe like once a week, or yeah, probably once a week, you have a clinical skills class, and you learn things like stethoscope, or your like how to take the pressure, like blood pressure, stuff like that. And within that class, um, they do assign group assignments. So they divide you up. The professor divides you up into people, into groups, and they give you an assignment. And usually, the way that I've contacted people is through the WhatsApp. Like we just chat. We create a group within, just like a new group with those like 5 people or something, and you just like kind of depends how you work. Like usually it's a Word document that you have to do, and so you just divide the questions up. However, the professors do create like a small like a like a group on Microsoft Team, so you can just call each other. I did that once, and then that's it. Once, like nobody else. I guess people don't feel comfortable with video calling, which is fine. Like it doesn't matter. So it hasn't been like difficult to talk to people via WhatsApp, and do those assignments, especially because you can do like share. With Word, you can share and work at the same time, kind of like Google Docs. Like y'all work at the same time, so it's not that difficult. But that made me think about something, Adrienne, um, about flipped classes. So in addition to those group assignments, there are times where the class is flipped. And so instead of having, not just in your CSD class, but everybody has like a flipped class. And what flipped class means is that you are expected to like understand certain things, like the material before the class, so that you go to class knowing what you're supposed to learn that day and ready for an assignment. So the way that usually works is they tell you like read chapter whatever, and then so you either read the chapter. I usually like look at the chapter, or if they give you slides, like look at the slides, see if you understand it, look up a YouTube video, try to understand it the most I can, and then I go to class. And usually in the class they're like, all right, well, since you now know about the Krebs cycle, let's have like some professors say like, let's have like, okay, you like Priscilla, what is like, I don't know, what is the fourth enzyme on the electron transfer chain or something like that. And then you like open your mic and you're like, complex 4 or something. And then those are like participation points. And then they're like, maybe that's like 10-minute presentation by the professor. And then after that, they're like, okay, now break up into your groups or do this individually, do this assignment individually. And they usually give you like a research paper from like PubMed or something like that. And then they're like, read it. It's about this disease that has to do with like this topic that we're talking about, like immunology. Like if we're talking about immunology, like it's a disease that has to do with it, and then answer these questions. And it's honestly, those assignments stressed me out so much in block 1, because it was like I had to read difficult words in like fast and then answer them. And it was just like, it was a lot for me. But yeah, that happens. So be aware of that. Every time they say flipped, if they give you a video and it's a flipped class, watch it. Watch that video. Watch it, because the next day they're not going to talk about the video. They're going to expect you to know it. Okay. Thanks, Diana and Adrienne. Yes, I'm excited for ACP. Okay, something that AMSA board members mentioned is something called Flip Classroom. Oh, what? I talked about it right before. That's so hilarious. Or something like that. Can you talk more about that? Okay, cool. That's funny. Is it harder to ask questions during lecture or communicate with professors since everything is online? So during class, you it's kind of like this, honestly, except you don't see the professor, you see the presentation. And so kind of like how y'all are doing the chat, y'all can like write it in the chat, and depending on the professor, they will stop and read the chat and then like answer it directly, maybe like at the end of their slide. Or some professors don't even look at it, depending on how they do, like, and then they go look at it at the end or maybe at the break. Because if it's a 2-hour class, you will probably have a break in the middle, like a 10-minute break or something, like bathroom break, and then they'll read through the chat. So yeah, so you can do it through the chat that Microsoft Teams will provide. You can also ask, you can virtually raise your hand. So there's an option for you to like, I don't know if you all used Teams, you can just click the button that has a hand, and it like has like a yellow hand and then next to your name, and the professor can see it. And then the professor will call on you, and then you can open your mic and talk about it. So that's an option. What I normally do for questions is I wait to the end of either the entire class, or I wait till the end of like for the break. And that's when I ask the questions, because the questions can be lost within the chat. And if I do put a question in the chat, I always put, or I try to put like all caps question, colon, and then I write my normal question in like regular like capitalization. It's a lot of questions. Yeah. Oh, you ask a lot of questions. Yeah. So maybe I would recommend to wait till the end of the class and then ask questions, because the professors will be like, hey, do you have any questions? Because the professors do want to get through the presentation, and I think it might be better for your classmates to just like listen the entire class and then you ask questions, especially because you don't know if the question will be answered later, you know? And if it's an out of scope question, like, I don't know, like I read this research paper about blank and whatever. Yeah, definitely at the end of class. But if it's like a question within the like the topic and you're like, well, wait, what was that again? Then yeah, I guess you can ask during. It depends on the professor. If it gets too crazy with questions, then the professors will be like, do it to the end. But yeah, so I recommend at the end, just to not like interrupt other people's learning. Ooh, okay. So is there any more questions? Because we've reached the 1 hour mark. I hope that this was helpful. Something that I want to end with is that I want to end with is to be like very proud of yourselves for starting this like chapter in your lives. Like congratulations, like you're starting, and that's such a big deal. Do expect a lot of information to be thrown at you, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Does that make sense? Like, don't ever doubt yourself. Like, if you feel like you cannot like understand something, don't ever go and be like, oh, it's because of me, like I don't understand, like I'm the dumb one. Like, it's not that. Like, it's never going to be that. Okay, like go into the YouTube and to boards or into RX, like reach out to me. Like you are not, like, don't doubt yourself, because I feel like you need to be on it in terms of mental health. Like, you need to be like 100% like good. Does that make sense? Because your mind has to be focused on school and not focused on like other things. Does that make sense? And um I do want to tell y'all, or like, I guess I can end with like a funny story, but it's very relevant. So for myself, like I'm an emotional person, and I like easily cry. Like, I watched like this Coca-Cola Christmas commercial and I like cried, like I'm that type of person. So I was very scared to go into medical school, because I was like, oh my God, at any little stress, I'm going to cry. And I'm not saying that there's anything bad with crying, because crying is like, it's a good way to release stress, etc. But I didn't want to be that person who was crying at every moment, because I felt like when I cry, it's like I feel like I'm like life is just like out of control. Does that make sense? So, anyways, I was like, so that just means I need to be determined and be on it, whatever. So I did do that for my first like 3 weeks or whatever. And then basically, like, I noticed that I was being very, very stressed. But the way that I noticed was because I had like a mini scare, and I don't want y'all to get scared with this, but basically, like, your body will react to stress in different ways. So the way that my body decided to act to stress is by like listening. So, okay, I would wake up at like 6 a.m. for like my 8 a.m. class or 7 a.m. class. And I had like this little like alarm that sounded like birds chirping, because I thought that was cute. And I was like, oh, birds, I'm waking up to cute birds, right? And so then I was like, okay, let me wake up to this. So I woke up to this like for 2 or 3 weeks. And then by the third week, I would hear the birds like when it's like 5 p.m., 8 p.m. in the afternoon. And I kid you not, like I cried because I thought I was becoming like I thought I was like pre-schizophrenic. Like I thought I was hallucinating and I thought I was going to go crazy and I thought my life was over because I was like, wow, like I'm barely starting my career and this is happening to me. Like I was legit like very, very sad. And thankfully I was fortunate to like make an appointment with a doctor, and I called him or her, sorry. And I told her about it, and she was like, "Why aren't you a new student, a medical student?" And I was like, "Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?" And she's like, "Well, aren't you stressed?" And I was like, "No, like I'm fine. Like I'm not like," because to me the definition of stress was like my shoulders are hurting and I just can't like handle life. But she was like, "No, your body is going through stress right now, and you have a lot of anxiety, and that's probably manifesting in that because like I don't know somehow." And she's like, "Come back to me in 2 weeks if it continues." And she's like, "Please relax." And I was like, "Okay, let me relax." Um, and then once I did relax, I stopped hearing them. And so the point of this story is that you will be stressed and you will be anxious, and I just want you all to not freak out. Like uh be on top of your stuff. Like I felt like I was on top of it and my body still reacted that way, you know. Before an exam, like I get anxiety and I like wake up before my alarm, you know, and I have to force myself back to sleep. And it still happens to me. I don't know why. I guess I'm just like anxious for an exam and I'm like nervous about it. But what I'm trying to say with all this is that that was crazy, and I'm sharing with you now so that you know that it's common, because I talked to my friend who's also a medical student, and she was like, "Oh, like I went through that too. I have a lot of night sweats." And I was like, "Oh, okay, so it's like a stress thing, I guess." So do expect to be stressed. Try to maintain your stress. Try to find a way to like relax, to like take a walk. I don't know, if you, like, do what you need to do to relax. Find that moment for yourself. Like I know that my life is very much school, but I do find my ways to relax, you know. YouTube, or like now trying to learn Twitter, like I, you know, so stuff like that. Like just try to find a way. You can do it, but balance it out. um Yeah, you're welcome, Priscilla. I know I was kind of like, should I share this? This is weird. But I did think my life was falling apart. It's not, okay? Like we can do this and we can keep going. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna end this live stream. Thank you so much for joining. I will make this available for others to see. I'm gonna create a thumbnail or something like that. Um, I didn't want to freak you all with my story. The main point is that you're not alone. It happens to everyone. You can do this. You can push through. Very good luck to all of you who begin on the like next week. I believe y'all begin on the 15th. Your orientation will be like an hour long or something like that, if it's anything like mine. So yeah, I'll see y'all in my next video. Take care. I know that these are very like difficult times, so please take care of yourself and your family and your loved ones. Be safe. Bye.